So this next one looks like it could be interesting. Let's take a look. Yeah, 1964. Another 64. Another 64. Why are there so many 1964s? Hey everybody in the Moose Herd. Today I was going to give you something a little bit different and a lesson on why there were so many coins from 1964. It's something that always interested me, and so I decided to do a little research on it and wanted to give it to you so you could know as well. So back in the early to mid 60s, there's starting to be a very severe coin shortage in the United States. This is caused by a few factors. Mostly there was poor distribution of coins. At this time, the Philadelphia Mint was moving to a new location in Philadelphia. The Denver Mint was being expanded, and the San Francisco office had actually been closed as a mint. They had been turned into an assay office. So there wasn't a great distribution of coins going on, and this was causing a shortage. At the same time, there's also a price of silver was rising higher than the value of coins, much like copper pennies today are worth more than the face value of a penny. And finally, the hobby of coin collecting was actually at an all-time high at this time. So all this led to the passage of Public Law 88-580, and that law said that basically it told the mint to put 1964 on all coins minted until there was an adequate supply of coins available. Now, what does this mean? Well, let's take a look at the Director of the Mint's annual report to Congress, and we can see. So here is the annual report of the Director of the Mint from fiscal year 1965. Now, fiscal years for the government back then meant from July 1st of 1964 until June 30th of 1965. So you can see that it splits the year, the calendar year in half. But if you look here, you can see the number of different denominations minted at each mint. But there's a little footnote here next to the number of pieces. And if you follow that down, you'll see that all coins minted in fiscal year 1965 were actually dated 1964 due to that public law that we just saw. Now let's take a look at what happened the next year. So here we are again. Now we're looking at the fiscal year 1966 annual report of the Director of the Mint. So again, this went from half of 1965 into half of 1966. And you can see that they were still making coins with the date of 1964 and 90% silver well into fiscal year 1966. You could see almost 3/4 of the coins minted for the half dollar were dated 1964. Which means they were making these coins well into 1966. The quarters probably were ended in 1965, as far as the ones dated 1964, as only a few of them were minted, probably the same with the dimes. But if you look at the nickels, almost 90% of the nickels made in fiscal year 1966 were actually dated 1964. Almost 1 billion 1964 nickels were made in the years 65, 66. So I think we can get a good idea of why you get so many 1964 nickels when you're looking through your coins. The pennies also, over 1 billion pennies minted in this time frame were actually dated 1964. And what's interesting is almost no coins made in 1965 were dated 1965. So how did we get coins 1965? Let's take a look at the next year. So here we have the report from fiscal year 1967 from the Director of the Mint. And we can see once again, for this year, they've now switched to all the clad. So the clad for the half dollars means the silver clad, and then the clad for the 25 cents and dimes means the cupro nickel clad that all the coins are made of today. So you can see in 1967, they made 1965, 1966, and 1967 coins. And it wasn't until the following year, 1968, did they return to the only coins made during a calendar year were dated of that calendar year. So, when you're asked why are there so many coins from 1964, now you know. So if any of you follow Treasure Town on YouTube, you'll know that he does a monthly quiz on different coin trivia. So if you do, you might be seeing a question like this about what year of the production of 90% silver coins, when did it stop for general circulation? And now you'll know the answer is 1966. All right, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.